Okay, hello everybody. Uh, Before starting, I'm gonna show you one important thing. As you probably know, when you start your software every single time, you will have uh, okay. So you will have this kind of window opened. I mean, this window, which is I would say a starting window. And you can select here the favorite modules of CATIA. You have added to this top of start menu. Okay, so if you don't work on assembly design, I always say you just should close this product one window using maybe file close or just clicking on this X button here. So the important thing I want to show you is related to a window when you start uh, part design or generative shape design, doesn't matter, whatever you want. Okay, so when you start when you just click on creating a new part, you will have opened this kind of new part definition window, this one. And I used to say you always use only enable hybrid design option. Do not use create a geometrical set. Okay, and now let's use try to use this option, create a geometrical set. I just click here this button next to create a geometrical set and click on OK. Okay, so as you can see here on our tree or specification, a new geometrical set 1 is also created. So under geometrical set 1 there is part body, and geometrical set 1 is underlined, as you can see. That means this geometrical set is defined as a working object. So whatever I want to create here is will be under this geometrical set. Uh, definitely, instead of this pad, shaft, rib, all objects related 3D objects, because geometrical set cannot be 3D objects. What is geometrical set? What can be inside of geometrical set? It is a point, a line, a plane, or even a sketch, this one. Okay, so or other objects like this created in generative shape design mode. Let's switch to geometrical shape design. I just click on start and click here geometrical shape design, which is put on the top of my start menu. If you don't have this geometrical shape design on your on the top of start menu, you can just open it right here. You can open shape and you can find generative shape design over here, generative shape design. So except this point, line, plane and sketch, other objects created using this wireframe toolbar, which is project, intersect, circle, spline, and all other these surfaces can also be created under this geometrical set 1. And I would suggest you guys use always this geometrical set. It is it is really simply, and it is really easy to understand if your objects created in generative shape design is put under geometrical set 1. Okay, so This is a little introduction to our today's lesson. So let's back to our main lesson. So last time we have finished to learn this wireframe toolbar, as I remember correctly. Am I right? So in wireframe toolbar, we used to create points, lines, or splines and planes. Okay, now today we are going to switch to surfaces toolbar. Okay, surfaces are created using uh, one of these elements which are created on wireframe toolbar, or elements which are created using sketch tool. Okay, so let's look at the first one, which is extrude. uh, let's try to click on extrude, and here we have opened extrude surface definition window, and here this window asks us to select a profile and next select a direction. These two are important elements to create extrude. Okay, so to create this, I just click on cancel first of all, and let's try to create a profile using sketch. I'm gonna click on sketch and select YZ plane as a sketch plane. Okay, now I'm creating, let's say, an arc like this one, uh, using arc tool. Uh, the arc of, let's say, 180 degrees like this, and with the radius of, let's say, 100, something like this. This is not important for now. I just define it the radius as a 100, and I'm gonna exit sketch workbench. So this profile is gonna be used as a base profile for my extrude. So I just click on extrude. As a profile here, on no selection, uh, I'm gonna add this created sketch here. I just click on sketch 1. Okay, and as you can see here, direction is created automatically, which is default sketch normal. So in this case, since sketch plane is YZ, the normal axis to YZ plane is X-axis. So here X-axis is automatically selected. Here, as you can see here, sketch normal. Normal to this sketch axis is, in our case, is X-axis. Okay. So, but I can right click here and select another axis. Let's say I'm gonna select mm, let's say Z component. Okay, it is not possible. It is not possible because the profile is locally parallel to extrusion direction. This is the definition why it is not possible to create an extrude using Z definition and this sketch 1. Okay, I just click on OK, and right click on this Z component next to direction, and select back again X component like this. So let's look at another options, which are limit 1 and limit 2. So as you probably understand, limit 1 type here uh, selected as dimension. I can select up to element. I'm not gonna do this because I don't have any other element other than sketch 1 and another element, which is extrude one, which is not created yet. Okay, I just select dimension, and the dimension is 20 millimeters, which is in this case this one, the dimension of my surface on this direction. Okay, I can create also on another direction another part of my surface, which is which can be typed here. Okay, right now the dimension is the dimension of limit 2 is 0 millimeters. Let's change it into, let's say, 50 millimeters like this, and click on preview. Here, see, on another side of this sketch, 50 millimeter surface is created. I can just click on reverse direction. Okay, and this 20 and 50 millimeters are changed like this. Okay, so there is another option of mirrored extend. If I click this button here next to mirrored extend option, limit 2 is disabled. I can just define only limit 1 dimension, and this limit 1 dimension is applied to both sides from my profile. Okay, I just deselect this mirrored extent and leave limit 2 dimension as 50 millimeters and click on OK here. Okay, uh, this is a surface. This is a really simple surface creating option. Okay, let's look at another tool, which is let's open. Let's click on this little arrow on the right bottom side of this tool here, and here I can see the tool named Revolve, another tool named Sphere, and another tool named Cylinder. So most probably you already understand that this tool named Extrude is something similar to path definition in part design. Let's switch back to part design. In my case, I just click on start and click on here part design. So in part design I have a sketch. Let's say I have this sketch. I click on part pad. As a sketch, as a profile surface, I'm gonna select this sketch. Okay, I just click on yes, and since my profile is not closed contour, I just select this thick option. Okay, and I'm gonna define the thickness of my profile is 1 millimeter. It's enough. Okay, and so I'm gonna create 50 millimeters to one side, 20 millimeters to another side, like this, and click on preview. As you can see, I have created exactly that surface, because but with 1 millimeter thickness, and because of this thickness, this object which is created inside part body is not a surface. It is a part. It is a part on which I can apply a material which has a volume, which may have its own mass, density, and other physical parameters. Okay, I just click on cancel, and I'm gonna back to generative shape design model. I just click on start and click over here generative shape design. So as I said before, the next tool is Revolve. It's really close tool to Shaft on part design mode, which is this one, Shaft. As you probably remember, to create a shaft, I need a sketch and an axis, revolution or revolve axis. Okay, uh, exactly uh, here in revolve, I need also a sketch or a profile and revolution axis. Let's just try to click on revolve and open revolution surface definition window here. As I said you before, we need to select here profile and revolution axis. And as addition, I can I can define angles, angle first and angle second. I just click on cancel. I just delete this extrude one, okay? And I also delete sketch one like this. And I'm gonna create another sketch on, let's say once again on YZ plane, okay? And I'm gonna create a sketch using spline tool, and my spline tool is let's say something like this, okay? Something like this, and that's all. So let's move this point a little slightly left, okay? uh, Exit sketch workbench and click on revolve tool. So as a profile, I select this sketch 2, which I just which I have created right now, sketch 2. And as a revolution axis, I'm gonna select let's say Z axis. I just right click on no selection next to revolution axis and select here Z axis. So see, this profile is rotated around Z axis, and this action creates a surface something like this. Okay, I can select, I can define angles here. As you can see here, the first angle, which is this one, angle first, uh, starts from 180 degree, and the next angle, angle 2, ends on 0 degrees. I can change these two. Instead of 180 degree, I can type or define 360 and click on preview, and my revolution is complete. Okay, I just click on OK, and I'm gonna show you here one important thing. As I said before, this sketch 2, which is a curve, and this is a surface, all these are created inside of geometrical set 1. And if I try to create a pad or a body in this document, it automatically will be inside this part body in my tree of specification. Let's try to do this. I just go back to part design, click on start, and click on part design. I'm gonna create a sketch on, let's say, XY plane, okay, and create a sketch something like this over here. Okay, I'm not gonna define any constraints because it's just a sample. It's not a project. Okay, I just exit sketch workbench and try to create a path. Okay, as soon as I click on path, uh, a software warnings me with this window warning. This current in work object is not a body. It is about this geometrical set. That means this geometrical set is not a body. The new solid feature is created after the last feature of the part body. So uh, the next the solid body, in my case this one, is going to be created on the next part, inside of next part body. Okay, it automatically will be created inside of this part body. Okay, I just click on OK, and let's click on cancel here, and let's add another body. I click on insert and click on body. Okay, I have here body 2 and part body. I right click on geometrical set and define it as a work object like this. And once again, I'm gonna try to create a path. Once again, I have this warning message, and uh, in this case, my path will be created inside of body 2, because after this geometrical set, next solid body is this one, not this one, but this one. Okay, so I just click on OK, and as a profile or surface, I'm going to select this sketch, which is sketch 3. Okay, which is currently in the side of a geometrical set. Okay, and just click on OK. Okay, as you can see here, now part body is activated, is selected as a work object. I just right click, once again right click on geometrical set 1 and define it as a work object again, like this. And I don't need this pad 1. I just select it and delete it. I don't need this body 2. I just select it and delete it like this. And I'm gonna back to geometrical generative shape design. Sorry. Start generative shape design. So I also don't need this sketch 3. Okay, and most probably I don't need all these objects, which are sketch 2 and revolute 1. I just select them and delete them. Okay, let's switch into another tool, which is a sphere. Okay, to create a sphere I don't need anything other than just a point. Okay, I just define a center point of a sphere. Other options can be defined right here on this window. Okay, I right click on no selection because I don't have any point created on my trio specification or on my workspace. So that's why I'm going to right click on no selection next to center uh, and select create a point. Okay, uh, let's say my center point, the center point of my sphere will be on origin here, which means the coordinates of a point are 0 by x, 0 by y, 0 by z. Okay, and I just click on OK here, and as you can see, something like this is already created. This is a part of a sphere, a part of a sphere. So the sphere can be defined by 4 angles. Okay, if I just look at this from front like this, I can see here this angle, which is 45 degrees, and this is here, and this one, which is minus 45 degrees, and it is defined here. Okay, and I can see this meridian start angle, which is start here, and meridian end angle, which is ends here. Okay, I can just change these values. Let's say uh, parallel start angle is gonna be minus 90 degrees instead of minus 45, and parallel end angle is gonna be 90 degrees. Okay, and if I click on preview, what I can see, it is a half of sphere. To complete this sphere, I just type here 360 instead of 180 and click on preview. Okay, or I can just click on this little button, which is create the whole sphere like this. Okay, this is not so difficult tool, uh, so that's why I'm gonna just click on OK and delete this sphere. Okay, and switch into next tool, which is cylinder, which is called cylinder. Okay, let's click on cylinder, and here I have cylinder surface definition window opened, and once again I should select a point here. Once again, I don't have any point created on my Tria specification, so that's why I just right click on node selection next to point and select create a point. And let's coordinates of point will be 0 0 0. Okay, and click on OK. So, and here I also should define direction, which is the axis direction, which should be actually an axis of my cylinder. Okay, so let's right click on no selection next to direction and select y axis as a axis of my cylinder like this. Okay, so I can define here a radius of my cylinder, define the length 1 and define the length 2. Okay, so the length 1 and the length 2 are the distances between the last point of my cylinder and this plane, which is in which there is my point, which is this one. Okay, or point 2 in my case. So let's change these values. Radius is gonna be 50, let's say. Length 1 also is gonna be, let's say, 100, something like this, and length 2 will be 0, and click on preview. Okay, uh, like in the case of creating extrude, which is this tool, I can select length 1 and length 2, define them, or click on reverse direction to change the direction or to change these two values between each other, or I can select mirrored extent option to create a cylinder on the both sides of from the point. Okay, and here I just click on OK and select cylinder on my 3D specification, and I just delete this and click on OK. So let's switch into another tool, which is this one, offset. Okay, uh, to create an offset, I need a surface. I need created surface. Uh, let's create a sketch on the ZX plane. Uh, let's say my sketch is going to be an arc like this, maybe. I don't know even which angle arc is this, and use extrude to create an arc, to create a surface using this arc. Okay, something like this, and click on OK. So if I click on offset, I need the offset surface definition asks me to select a surface. So it is creating a surface using another surface. Okay. So as a surface, as a base surface, I'm going to select this extrude 2. Okay. And I define here offset distance. Let's say it's going to be 20 millimeters. So that means I'm going to creating another surface on 20 millimeters far from origin 1. And let's click on preview. And as you can see here, another surface is created, another absolutely parallel. Uh, Actually, it is not named parallel, but surface with a distance of 20 millimeters from the first one is created. Okay, I can click here on reverse direction button. So in that case, the surface will be created on this side, something like this. Let's click on reverse direction and click on preview. Okay, see, uh, another surface is also created. Or I can just click on this both sides option. I mean, use this both sides option. I just click left click on this button here and click on preview. As you can see here, offset surfaces are created on both sides from origin extrude 2. So in this case, in my tree of specification, 2 offsets are created here. Okay, I just click on OK, and maybe we are going to make a little pause here.